Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's right next to LACMA. So you've got
Really?
like the Peterson Automotive Museum, and then LACMA is like right next door to it, and then there's the Academy
I've
Museum. It's
heard
all like
so
in the
many
same
things about the
complex.
Peterson Museum.
I gotta go.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wandered in there once, thinking like trying to find parking for the academy. But one of these days I want to go. It's massive. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
But the academy is just they show some really cool stuff there. They'll sometimes have folks come to do a talk back and give you kind of the history of it too, or like
Wow.
backstories. I saw it was a double feature a few weeks ago they did of like the world, the flesh, and the devil, and I forget the other title, but there was this whole story um, of this film being made and the actors basically being not happy with all the changes that the producers were making to the script. They totally changed the story. So then later on, years later, they got the rights to it and then reproduced it the way they wanted to. And they're like, originally were the same script, but now completely different films. And it's like this post-apocalyptic New York, like after the atomic bomb goes off, sort of film.
Good morning.
Wow.
This is a
But totally
test
different
of
takes
the
on the
audio
story because
system.
they had different producers. And hearing the story of that is just it's really interesting. It's got oh, I gotta look up the name of the actor. He was in Showboat, I think. So if I look at the world, the flesh, and the devil, it's Harry Belafonte was in it.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Andrew Stevens and Harry Belafonte.
Oh my God.
Like,
What a
stars in it.
cast.
It's a great movie. It is so fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm stunned. Did you ever see the classic, a classic movie from the 50s called Kiss Me Deadly?
That sounds familiar.
It's about, where there's some radioactive material in a
Oh,
suitcase,
yes.
and then the lady that is like a foreign spy, she opens up the case, and of course it's BS because
Yeah.
she would have been killed just by holding the thing without even. But
Exactly.
she opens it up and it just blinds her.
Oh my goodness. What?
Yeah, it's a Mickey Spillane mystery. It was a great movie.
Woo. I don't think, yeah, I think that sounds familiar. What's it called again? Let me write it down.
Kiss Me Deadly.
Kiss Me Deadly.
Kiss Me Deadly.
That's the plot sounds so familiar, but I want to write it down because I would probably want to
It's
just
a
like
really
watch it
good
again.
movie. To me, I like seeing the old noir films and the filmed in LA because you're actually seeing LA the way it was.
Exactly, and how it's changed over time, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then one of my relatives by marriage many years ago had made one of those movies. He was like the producer, Angel's Flight. It's a really great noir film. I'm going to ask. I have to go to that museum and ask them if they know about that.
Exactly. They probably do. The curators there are so everybody who I've met there works there is so knowledgeable. It's kind of amazing. Like if you're, and I know you're a film buff. I think you'd really like
I'm a
it.
film buff, but I'm also interested in LA history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just such a great place for that.
Well, there's a building that used to be a hotel that was converted into housing. They turned the rooms into like little dwelling units, and the woman who I used to know unfortunately passed. Her grandfather had built the building, and it was in a movie, a very famous movie called The Grifters. Have you ever heard of The Grifters?
Yes.
Well, it was filmed. The Grifters was filmed there, and so it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat.
Oh, I love that.
But the point of bringing that up is that building was one of the few buildings around Wilshire Boulevard in the days when lots of open area was devoted to agriculture. Hollywood was mostly a bunch of bean fields.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So just to be able to see that.
I know. And then she was telling me there wasn't
it.
much going on in Wilshire, but they would go to school, and I don't know if they had horse-drawn carts in those days, but it was. They might have had a few here or there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, because you think about it, like even just like our modern freeways.
So we're going back to those days.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden, There's a reason I is in your head. It's a lock without the key to keep believing what you see and said. It's your right to misery. There's a boy inside who wants to get out. There's a man who never sees. There's a woman underneath these clothes, waiting to be told she's free. You ever get that feeling that the real you is always out of reach, burning in the fire, forgetting what it was to feel at all. You are not alone as long as you and I are all. So we, all is given, all is taken, we are in between. So not forsaken, but forgiven, we will become free. All is given, all is taken, we are in between. So not forsaken, but forgiven, we will become free. You ever get that feeling that the real you is always out of reach, burning in the fire, forgetting what it was to feel at all. You are not alone as long as you and I are also we.
All we need is to be together in this big room talking. Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, wholeness and healing. We welcome you, the certain and the seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted, the talkative and the quiet ones. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena, from the heart of our homes. Hello, those of you joining us on live stream. This week we have 3 ways for you to go out and love the world, and lucky you, 2 of them are happening today in this building. You don't have to go anywhere to love the world. One is immediately following the service, we are making sack lunches for the Friends Indeed Street Outreach team. Jeannie and Rachel got all that set up for us before worship. There's a cool assembly line. Yay, Rachel and Jeannie, yes. And so we're all invited to pitch in and help with that effort. And also, immediately following service, after we make sandwiches, the social justice team is offering an informational session about all of those measures on the California ballot. Have you looked at your ballot yet? Have you, one of you, already filled it out? You're such a good citizen and you've already sent it in. But I sat with my ballot on Saturday and thought, what in the world, and why am I supposed to be voting on some of these measures? So I'm not exactly sure on some of them, but the social justice team, with the help of the League of Women Voters, will help us figure that out. And then the third way to go love the world is tomorrow. We are joining in for a Clean Green Pasadena rally at City Hall on the steps from 3:30 to 4:30. Our goal at Throop was to get 10 of us there, and I believe we have now hit 10, so I feel like let's try to get 15 or 20. If you want to meet us at City Hall, there's no marching, there's just kind of being there, exuding an amazing sense of loving the earth. If you have a Throop t-shirt, you can wear it, and we'll have sunflowers for our Throop people to hold, representing our garden. And let me know after service if you're able to be with us. We're so glad you're spending this fall Sunday morning at Throop. Each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
We gather today together in joy and thanksgiving. We celebrate the bounty of creation. As we hold both sorrow and gladness in our hearts, we sing of praise and grace for the life that we bear. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once, and is still, the home of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
Our opening hymn, We Gather Together, number 349. You can follow along in the gray hymn.
We gather together in joyful thanksgiving, acclaiming creation whose bounty we share. Both sorrow and gladness we find now in our living, to sing a hymn of praise to the life that we bear.
And take a moment, turn to your neighbor and welcome them into Throop.
We gather together to join in the journey, affirming, committing a passage to thee, a true affirmation in joy and tribulation. We're bound to human care and the hope we are free. We gather together in joyful thanksgiving, acclaiming creation whose bounty we share. Of sorrow and gladness we find now in our living,
response to the responsive reading today is we welcome all life to our table full of blessings. Let's say that together. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. We have a soul at times. No one's got it nonstop for keeps. Day after day, year after year may pass without it. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. Sometimes it will settle for a while, only in childhood's fears or raptures. Sometimes only in astonishment that we're old. For every 1,000 conversations, it participates in one, and even then it prefers silence. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. And just when our body goes from ache to pain, it slips off duty. Joy and sorrow are not two different feelings for it. We can count on it when we're sure of nothing and curious about everything. We welcome all life to our table full of blessings. And today's lesson is connected to our fourth Unitarian Universalist wisdom source, which is Christian and Jewish teachings which call us to respond to God's love by loving our neighbors as ourselves. And the story comes from a Jewish folktale. It could be worse, and I'd like to invite 3 of our Throop players up to the chancel.
Good morning. I want to introduce our dramatis personae here. One is our farmer, whose name is your own name. Ripley. And our minister?
Rachel.
All right, to tell you the story of It Could Be Voice. Once upon a time, long, long ago, a farmer lived in a small, quiet house on an urban homestead with organic permaculture garden. They shared their life with their wife and their 6 children. Every day, he would come home from work and he would sit down after dinner and try to take a nap. But the kettle on the stove would hiss, and the fire would crack, and the children would run around the room fighting and laughing, and his wife's knitting needles would be click, click, clicking.
It's too noisy in here. Things could not be worse.
One day, the farmer went into town and asked the Unitarian Universalist minister what to do. They listened to the tired farmer describe their noisy house, in which the kettle hissed, the fire cracked, the children fought around and laughed, and the children's needle went click.
If you do as I say, your situation will improve. Tell me, do you have chickens?
Yes, I have chickens.
Go home and bring the chickens inside your house.
It sounded like a wacky idea, but the minister was supposed to be wise. So the farmer brought in the chickens inside the house. That night, the kettle hissed, the fire cracked, the children ran around the room fighting and laughing, while the wife's needle went click, 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 and the chickens went bark, 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 bark.
It's too noisy in here. Things could not be worse. It's worse than ever. Last night the kettle hissed, the fire crackled, the children ran around the room fighting and laughing, the wife's knitting went click, 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 and the chickens flew around calling cluck, cluck, cluck. Help me!
Do you have any pigs? Go home and bring the pigs into the house.
Okay, it sounded like a wacky idea, but the minister was supposed to be wise. So the farmer brought all the pigs inside the house. And that night, click, 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 click. Bark, 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 bark.
It's too noisy in here. Things could not be worse. It's worse than ever. Last night the kettle hissed, the fire crackled, the children ran around the room fighting and laughing, the wife's knitting went click, 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 and the chickens flew around calling cluck, 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 and the pigs went oink, oink, oink. Help me.
Let's see. Do you have any cows? Go home and bring the cows into the house.
It sounded like a wacky idea, but the minister was supposed to be wise. So the farmer brought the cows inside. And that night, click, 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 bark, 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 bark.
It's too noisy in here. Things could not be worse. It's worse than ever. Last night the kettle hissed, the fire crackled, the children ran around fighting and laughing, the wife's knitting went click, 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 and the pigs went oink, 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 and the chickens went cluck, 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 and the cows went moo, moo, moo. You have to help me. I'm not getting any sleep.
This is what you do. Go home tonight and take the cows, the pigs, and the chickens out of your house.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
The farmer trudged home. They shooed the chickens out into the hen house. They herded the pigs back into the pigsty. He sent the cows back into the barn. Then they went back in the house and sat down in the rocking chair. The kettle, the fire, and his wife's needle went click, 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 click.
It's so quiet and peaceful in my house with all of the clucking, oinking, and mooing. It could definitely be worse.
Thank you.
Thank you all. And now our children will go with Denise and Derek. Yes. And today they are learning about our 5th UU principle, the use of the democratic process. And we sing them into the program.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
I feel like that is a hard act to follow. It was very fitting that you asked me to read this today. It's called Reversals of Fortune by Teresa I. Soto. People wake up to ordinary days all the time. And then, somehow, as though things were just too peaceful, they experience drastic reversals of fortune. The car resting on its roof, the fall, the broken bone, the less than hoped for grade, the broken heart when a pet dies. You get it. You never know what's in a day. Except you are the golden thread running through. I know that these reversals will test you. You may move through burdened with a fresh, wet grief, or, for now, you may arrive at the moment unscathed. What you need to know is that there is nothing larger than the love that is your destiny, and the love may at times feel opaque and distant, like a looming thundercloud too far to reach. If that's too hard to locate, find your breath, a thread of your life. Find your community, a friendly face, an open hand. What's true is that some changes call for every skill that we possess. The deeper truth remains. Changes will eventually change. Let your heart flex. Let it grow. Allow a reversal to be a moment in which you are the constant, while you give yourself kindness and heaping joyful love.
Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. And she said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? Julian, do you not know about pain? I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? Julian, do you not know about pain? She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, do you not know about loneliness? I said, Julian, it is too much, it brought me to my knees. I said, Julian, do you not know about loneliness? I said, Julian, it is too much, it has brought me to my knees. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. She said, no one does not know about sorrow. She says, no one does not know about pain. She says, no one does not know about sorrow. She said, no one does not know about pain, but all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. I said, Julian, you are holy, you are holding my hand. She said, dear one, do you not know about tenderness? Dear one, do you not know it's only love that never ends? And so all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. She said, all will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well.
Entering into the space on Sundays, at other times of the week, we have one another's hands to hold to help get us through these days and these times. This church means so much to so many of us, and we all support it through our gifts of time and talent and treasure. For those of you that are able to make a contribution today, you can give that contribution in the offering plate, which Taryn will pass down the aisle. You can also make a gift online or text to give. If you're a first-time visitor, we ask that you let the offering plate pass you by. Thank you so much for all the ways you support our life together. The morning offering will now be gratefully received.
Sovereign and transforming grace, we invoke your quickening power. Rain the spirit of this place. Bless the purpose of this hour. Holy and creative light, we invoke your kindling ray. Draw upon our spirits night as the darkness turns to day. To the anxious soul impart hope of other hopes above. Stir the dull and hardened heart with a longing and a love.
We turn our hearts and minds to a spirit of gratitude for all that this church offers us, all that we offer into the world, for all that is our life. And we share together the words of the response to the offering that's in your order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And on this Sunday morning that to me felt like really the first day of fall, that bit of chillness in the air, a little bit of overcast skies, we offer up our own gratitude for our earth, and those words are in the order of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. All will be well. Say that phrase in your own heart, your own spirit, your own mind, and just if it works for you to take a breath in this moment, I invite you to do that. And exhale. Breathe in again, a sense that all will be well. And exhale. And gently close your eyes and let your body fully come into this space, into this place connected with these people. And breath of life and breath of love, let us know really that all will be well. Let us feel the touch of a hand, whether it's the touch of the universe or what we name as sacred, the gentle touch of a friend or companion, human or animal. And let our hearts know all will be well. As life continues to throw so much at us, sometimes it feels like we don't have enough hands to catch it all, and sometimes we just don't. And whatever is coming at us falls to the ground around our feet and ankles, and we wonder if we will be able to make our way through. We will, and we can. For those among us who have wandered in today with a heart heavy with grief or heavy with longing, we offer up our own blessings of healing and love. And if you or someone in your life is in need of circles of care, circles of grace, hold that person or hold yourself gently in your heart. And the rest of us, let's kind of imagine putting our energy out, perhaps in the shape of cupped hands, as we send our thoughts of love and healing to those in need, to a world that is always in need of that. And our healing energy also gently surrounding our earth. We spend a few moments in shared stillness, focused on our breath and focused on our being. And for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Nada te turbe, nada te espante. Quien a Dios tiene, nada le falta. Nada te turbe, nada te espante. Solo Dios basta. Nothing can trouble, nothing can frighten those that seek God shall never go wanting. Nothing can trouble, nothing can frighten. God alone fills us. Nada te turbe, nada te espante. Quien a Dios tiene, nada le
Susan woke up to a perfectly normal day. And when Susan fell asleep that night, she had been through a sudden reversal of fortune. And she thought to herself, it wasn't supposed to be like this. At one time, Susan had been the head of a large nonprofit organization, and this organization was considered the best at everything. They were the best at staffing. All the senior staff were top-notch. They were so good at what they did, they were asked to travel near and far, teaching other people how to do what they did so well. Susan's organization was the best at raising money. And they ran capital campaigns to beautify their campus. They raised money for memorial gifts to hold those in leadership that had died, to hold their memory. And they raised money so they could keep all of those excellent staff people. And this organization was the best at inspiring people. And organizations looked to them for how they were supposed to do things. They thought maybe if they just learned all the secrets of this organization, that maybe one day they too could be the best, or at least second best. And then one day things began to slowly unravel. People started getting angry, dissatisfied. Before long, some of the senior staff left, and then more staff followed them. Suddenly, Susan looked up and did not have a job anymore. And when Susan was sharing her story with me, this is several years now in the past, but she still looked at me with some confusion on her face about how all this had transpired, and she said to me, "It wasn't supposed to happen like this." And that resonated with me so much. Because how many of us, how many of you have had your very own, it wasn't supposed to be like this moment? Times when life was rolling along, you thought everything was fine and okay, and then before you knew it, everything had changed. My mom wasn't supposed to die this early. My mom was supposed to live until she was 98. How am I going to live the rest of my days without my mom? I was not supposed to have terrible back issues. I love hiking and climbing and doing and dancing. I thought I was going to be able to do all of that until I just couldn't do it anymore. What am I going to do for the rest of my days? I wasn't supposed to be living by myself. When I got married forever, darn it, and I was just going to be in that forever. And now I'm living all alone. It wasn't supposed to be like this. And I wasn't supposed to be out of a job, not right now, not in my 50s. I'm supposed to be planning for an amazing retirement, maybe in Spain, not out looking for a job and wondering how I'm going to keep it all together. How am I going to make ends meet? When we find ourselves in a changed reality, immersed in it, the earth disappears from underneath our feet. We feel groundless and unsure. We no longer know who we are or how in the world we're going to get through. And it's hard to imagine that life will ever again return to a sense of normalcy. feelings like joy, love, and hope seem like strangers that you will never meet again. Wendell Berry writes of this anguish. When despair for the world grows in me and I wake at night at the least sound and fear of what my life and what my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light for a time. I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. None of us ever wants to find ourselves in these moments of loss, grief, despair, loneliness. We do so much to try to keep that at bay. We overwork, binge watch TV shows, practice selective forgetfulness. We tuck our souls away day after day, year after year, may pass without it ever being fully present. And then we find ourselves saying, it wasn't supposed to be like this. And whether we are ready or not, we come face to face with all that is our life, peering at our soul in the silence that ensues. And whether you've already moved through your time of grief, or whether you're still smack dab in the middle of it, you are sitting here today. You've made it this far, and you will indeed get through. It's maybe taking more skills, more energy, more resolve, more of everything you have, even when you feel like you have so little to spare. Let yourself come into the peace of wild things and rest in the grace of the world. In Unitarian Universalism, we understand grace as a love holding all of us, every one of you fully worthy of that love. Grace shows up when joy and sorrow are joined. Whatever brought you into the silence, no, you know what? It wasn't supposed to be like this. And yet here you are with it, and life is change and change and change. Our moments of it wasn't supposed to be like this, when we're in them, they feel like they are never going to end. Feels like the season will last for the rest of our days. And yet one morning, you wake up, and while the day isn't perfectly normal, you realize that another change has occurred within you. This change comes so much more slowly than the sudden reversal of fortune than you experienced, but it's also in some ways no less of a surprise. You realize you have once again seen a glimmer of your breath. You once again see a glimmer of that golden thread. Your toes beginning to barely touch earth again. And for the first time in a really long time, you notice joy, love, and hope are lingering around the edges, waiting to greet you when you are ready for it. On this day, after so many days of not knowing, you tell yourself, I know I can create a life of meaning. I know I am going to be able to find renewed purpose. I know I can be filled up with the goodness of life. One more time. I know I can go on. And you will.
Though days be dark with storms and burdens weigh my heart, though troubles made at every turn, I know I can go on. My sorrow heals my soul, and burdens make me strong. Though troubles made at every turn, I know I can go on. My sibling in my heart, my family in my song. Though troubles made at every turn, I know I can go on. Though days be dark with storms and burdens weigh my heart, though troubles made at every turn, I know I can, I know, I can, I know, I can go on.
Place a hand on your heart. Reach out a hand to someone in the room, someone on live stream. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us. Thank you to Brad for running live stream, Megan for your inspiring music, as always, Throop players, and Rachel for participating in worship leadership, Taryn for being a greeter and an usher. I know we will go on. I know you will find your breath, that golden thread running through it all. I know you will find your feet on earth when you are most in need. These hands are here to hold you. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen, and blessed be.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just